Hello and welcome to Series 2 of M&G Investments podcast Dream Machine.
Alex,
Award-winning podcast Dream Machine. My name's Alex Matcham and I'm here with my colleague Laura Brown.
Hello.
Each episode we speak to one of our investment professionals to try to get to know the people behind the portfolios.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to be asking our investment experts to choose from their dream virtual vending machine, their favourite crisps, chocolate bar and drink.
The only bubbles here are the bubbles you get in a can of fizzy pop.
And we should also say, very important, that this is not a promotion for any of the items that we're going to be talking about today. There is a whole world of snacks out there.
Indeed, as always, none of Dream Machine content should be taken as financial advice, nor should it be taken as nutritional advice. If you are unsure, you should speak to a financial advisor or a nutritionist.
So, with the disclaimers well and truly out of the way, let's begin. Today we're joined by Catherine Ross. Catherine is head of private credit here at M&G Investments and has been in the business since 2001.
Yep.
Not too scary.
Long time.
Catherine, welcome to Dream Machine.
Thank you so much for having me.
And Catherine, you hopefully you've seen a few of the episodes before, so you've done your due diligence.
Of course, I've done my due diligence. Of course, I have. In the credit area, that's absolutely crucial. No, but I love your podcast, award-winning podcast.
Thank you very much.
We don't like to mention it.
Yeah,
Just nice.
but the fact you mentioned it, maybe we could let's keep that bit in. So let's begin back in 2001.
Yes.
You know, how did you come to join M&G and to get in to this career, and what were the drivers for you to start the journey that you've been on?
Well, it's definitely been an exercise in sort of coincidence and luck, as well as, a few things just sort of falling my way in terms of the way my career is sort of built out. But it wasn't my first role, actually. I started at a bank before I joined M&G, straight from university, in a team that was looking at financing infrastructure projects. So I took the step in 2001 to move to M&G, to move to the buy side, to try to see the way in which we could use capital for long-term good, really, to see the long-term value that comes from asset management. In banking, it was very transactional, project to project. They could be quite long-running projects, quite complicated. So I came in at a really lucky time. I came in at a time when there was a lot of innovation going on. Obviously, Prudential had just bought M&G and just lucked out, really, in joining at the point at which private markets were being established in Europe. And M&G was really pioneering at this stage, working with the life fund as we do now, to try to find attractive risk reward outside of what others were doing. So I was really fortunate. The first job I had was building our first alternative investment funds. We didn't have any before then. We had no precedent, nor did the market. So there was a sort of blank sheet of paper, an idea, and an opportunity and empowerment to sort of get on and do it. So I was enormously fortunate to just be able to work with some incredible people and design our first European loan fund, which turned 20 this year. The episode fund, I worked on that. And then once we'd launched European Loan Fund, 2005, the head of that business said, we need to now build this business. We're taking private markets outside of, the current investors that can access it to a broader range. We don't know quite how it's going to work out. We've got this fund. And, that's when I sort of stepped into LevFin specifically in private credit.
And when you was in kind of people's sort of career paths, so some people have a very clear plan of, this is how it's going to go. Did yours feel more organic than that? If that's
organic
the best way to put it.
is the best way to put it. It really was. And I think there were opportunities. I was very, very fortunate that at different steps along the way, there were opportunities to sort of take on more, to broaden my sort of outlook and responsibilities, broaden the team, broaden the reach of what we were doing. I wish there was some grand plan that I could point to, but it really was, just opportunity driven.
Should we start formal proceedings with your, I believe we're on your dream drink.
This is the dream
Well, I
drink.
can tell it's a drink, sorry, that sounds like
Yeah.
I couldn't tell, but
I'm very happy to see this.
Here we go.
nice.
Although I'm rather regretting whether or not, or considering whether I should have gone with like a nighttime drink or a gin and tonic. But no, I've gone with a flat white.
A flat white.
Very specifically a flat white. And I don't drink a flat white very often, actually. It's a treat.
Really?
A milky drink. Milky coffee is a
weekend
weekend treat.
coffee is a treat.
It's normally a long, rock and roll.
Wow.
Yeah, it's normally a long black. Let me give this
I'm
one.
going
This
for
looks
my
like
treat.
a nice one.
So it's normally a long black, but
Yeah.
this is a treat coffee.
But I chose this because every time I have a flat white, it's nice. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a aficionado, but I discovered coffee like this in Australia in 2000 in my first job.
Oh, right, so you were an early flat white.
Yeah. Well, but before then, I was not long out of university, and it was all about, I think Gold Blend was the height of sophistication at that point. But I went to Australia, and there was no coffee culture really in the UK at all.
No.
I was really lucky in my first job. The sort of the head of the family that ran the business decided the graduates should all understand the global business. So we were all posted overseas for 6 months.
Cool.
I got Sydney. So I was posted to Sydney for 6 months, age 22, which was just such an incredible opportunity. And discovered coffee, like proper coffee.
Because they are one
so
of the
ahead of the time.
One of the countries that really embraced it.
And
early.
They invented the flat white.
Did they invent the flat white?
Yeah.
I didn't know it was an Australian invention.
It's an Australian thing. There was just nothing like that in London or the UK at all. Whereas I went there and it was a really established coffee culture, took it really seriously, all about the beans. I mean, I wish I understood a lot more about that than I do.
It's now the most popular. I did a bit of research.
Oh,
the
right.
most popular coffee now in the UK is a flat white.
It's delicious, isn't it? It's not too much.
Strong. I've gone again and it's better. So I apologise.
No, this is very nice. It's nice in a cup. That feels like a treat, a little treat.
So in the dream vending machine.
Special cup.
Your cup, special cup from home.
Yeah,
And that's a thin cup.
Yeah, thin cup, exactly, with
like
a saucer.
Saucer style, like this.
Yes.
Like it.
Yeah.
Like it.
Now we're getting it.
Little ceremonies every day.
Yeah, no, completely.
Little ceremonies. I like that expression as well. I'm taking that one. It's good. Like doing a Sudoku. What a treat.
And you sort of, obviously, sort of the areas that you kind of came into, and the element of not luck, but sort of just that kind of finding areas that were particularly growing. Obviously, private credit is something that, can't move for people talking about it at the moment. What's your sort of observation, kind of how that's changed and over time?
Well, it's really interesting because it's something that obviously at M&G we've been doing for 30 years. So it's been, as you say, you can't turn a page in the paper now without a comment about it. Part of the, I think the job that we've had, and what I've quite enjoyed actually, is the process of trying to demystify what that is all about, because there can be a lot of mystique about the asset classes, about the companies that are lent to. But I think for us, we've got a job to do in ensuring that there's a sort of, it's not seen as being too remote or too inaccessible for clients, when the core is relatively simple now. The work we have to do is find the right opportunities, ensure that we make the right choices, and then are vigilant in the investments that we've made, after the fact. But we've got 30 years in the bank of having done that, so it's definitely got much more visibility now. We used to call it, I remember in the early days of the European Loan Fund, the head of distribution called it the best kept secret in fixed income. The point being that it was very similar to a lot of asset classes people were really, really familiar with in terms of the key drivers, key components, and outcomes. And so therefore it was something that people should consider. It's all connected. Private credit's got a role to play, just as the public markets have, and private credit's role will and is evolving all the time.
And on that point of what it brings, as someone who's worked in that sector for a long time, that's a sort of sphere for a long time, is it fair to say that you open up this world of opportunity that maybe doesn't exist quite to the same extent within public markets, i.e. the multiple levels of financing that you can go to, and therefore the very specific nature of some of those deals that maybe in a public space you don't get quite the same exposure to? Does that make sense?
That's true. The range of sort of opportunities you can lend to is just broader.
Yeah.
But it's really interesting for us, I think, to see there are companies that we might lend to that are quite small. They're looking to sort of scale their business in a variety of ways. And because of the way we're organised within a private credit and across the broader business, we can sort of follow them all the way through. It's sort of broadening the net of investment opportunity to clients that can consider it within their portfolio and balance out, relative liquidity, but also return, and think about, a diversified portfolio, what that can offer. Geographies too. I mean, that's the other area that we have always been quite a European had a European focus in our private credit business, but that's giving access, across Europe to, companies that are, relatively local, maybe domestic operators, as well as those that operate pan-European.
Should we?
I think we should move on to your second selection, your crisps.
Oh, yeah. You
Yeah.
found them. Oh.
Well, that was going to be
That's the kind of reaction.
one
we
of
want.
the things that I was going to ask.
exciting.
This is such a throwback. Salt and shake
Salt and shake.
potato crisps, which I probably haven't had in about 40 years. But I love them.
I love it. I'm very excited.
This is-
And not often Alex and I share the snacks, but that is not going to happen.
Yeah, because
I
this
want
is
to do my own.
this is a very personal crisp, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
'Cause
This is a personal,
controlling the salt.
Yes. So
is that, you know, to talk us through, I guess, the genesis of where? So is this a
Yeah,
memory then
this
that
is a
comes
memory.
from
Yeah.
childhood or something?
I haven't had these in a long time. Oh my goodness, that's a high that percentage I'm just seeing on the front. I'm just going to ignore that. But the salt is, you know, you can dial that up or down.
The optionality on the
It's not
place.
blue anymore. Is it not blue, the salt shaker
No,
thing?
I quite like the
I think
jeopardy
that
of
was
not being able to
'cause
find the
all-
salt
you
thing
can't
as
see-
well.
Yeah, exactly. 'Cause
They used to be blue. No, these are definitely like an 80s, you know, revival, and I'm amazed you've been able to find them and very impressed. And I can't find my salt, but
because it's not blue anymore.
it's not blue anymore. It used to be blue, and you could find it.
Oh, I've gone all in.
I literally can't. I don't think I've got.
I
I
love
think
the
I've got
theatre
the
of
theatre.
this. This is part.
Oh,
is
I
this
found
part
it.
of it?
But that's
This
quite
is,
part of it's a
Oh,
puzzle.
my goodness,
It's
yes.
a puzzle as well as a.
It is, and then you get covered in grease. No, this was because when I was at primary school, my lovely mum used to make my packed lunch, and she was incredibly health conscious. So I would turn up with my Disney princesses, probably wasn't,
Excellent,
but
good,
lunchbox, whatever the 80s version was of that, My Little Pony or whatever, and I would have a brown roll and an apple every day.
Okay.
And I'd look longingly at my classmates who would have, you know, all sorts of other lovely things. Occasionally, just occasionally, there'd be a packet of these in my lunchbox. And I think it was because she probably on some level thought they were more healthy because you could decide whether you added I mean, of course I added the salt, but I think she thought that there was some, you know, health dimension to them. But that was it. This is like happy packed lunch day. When one of these was in there, oh, look at that.
I was going to shake, but you were talking.
Yeah.
I don't want to shake over.
No, the whole lot's going in. It's got to do it.
I'm shaking.
Yeah.
That's lovely. That's
It's-
just.
Yeah.
The whole
dear.
process.
The
is
deferred
really
sort
pleasing.
of gratification as well.
I quite like the uneven distribution of salt.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean by that?
I just got a whole crisp with most
Yeah.
of the packet. Yeah.
Which you probably don't. Yeah. So you probably don't want just a whole salt crisp every time, but sometimes the one that's not got so much salt, you're like, oh, that's a variation.
There's some portfolio allocation metaphor in here somewhere,
I
I'm
think
sure.
there probably
that
is.
we can bring out of it,
Spreading
guys.
the risk.
Come on. And do you snack more now then, or are you still quite, you know, obviously you had discipline applied to you before, but now
Oh
you like
no,
more?
it's and as my son, well, I've got no discipline around that at all. I mean, it's try to be, but yeah, my mum was extremely, and it all now. At the time, I felt I was really being hard done by, except when I opened the box and there was one of these in there. But I think she was really just trying to make sure it didn't.
So are you team sweet or team savoury?
Oh, savoury. Yeah, I'd always choose a. I mean, I like a Victoria sponge. Don't get me wrong, but I would, you know, if a
But
snack
savoury
choice,
is where-
the savoury. Yeah, I really like
Yeah,
savoury.
I
Like
just-
a crisp.
I love savoury.
Crisps are just so Moorish, though. They're
So
dangerous.
I
Yeah.
commend you on
Dream
your
crisp.
crisp choice.
That's very enjoyable.
And Gabby, sort of think about your career and sort of, you know, the industry talks a lot about, you know, female fund managers and developing female talent in the industry. I mean, what's your sort of observations or thoughts about you because of your experience during that?
Yes, I mean there are obviously a lot more, you know, women in asset management now, which is great. I think there is still a significant disparity though in certain investment roles, and I have to say within, you know, private credit that's perhaps even more so. Not at M&G, but more broadly in the industry. You know, the nature of the transaction process, origination, relationships, and sort of the doing of deals can be, you know, can feel like an environment in which it's not always easy to operate. Right. But it's changing, though. It really is. And I think there's a lot of sort of intentional sort of improvements being made to how businesses are organised to make that easier. I mean, I think at M&G we've made massive strides to show opportunities to everybody within the business, talented people, to give them opportunities and give them what they need to take those on. I mean, within my own team. It's really balanced actually in all ways in terms of gender balance. We've got lots of really senior female leaders within the business as well, which is really great to see. There's more work to be done, and I think we've got work as an industry to do to sort of think about ways in which we operate to just ensure that there's open opportunity for all. I mean, in terms of visibility on what is possible within this part of the market, the opportunity that can come, the intellectual challenge, the scope to really build a career. In some ways, the visibility about that, the increased visibility about that's it's got to be a good thing in terms of people observing senior women in roles in this part of the market. It's got to be a good thing from a role modelling point of view, I would say.
You talked earlier on about that deal-making environment that you've spent, by the sound of things, quite a lot of time in and experienced various iterations of. What I imagine, therefore, there's times where it can be quite stressful. How do you decompress outside of that environment? Is it easy to step away? Can you sort of decompress and find ways of sort of
it can be, there's definitely there can be lots of different things to consider at once. Particularly in my role, I sort of feel like there's sort of multiple dimensions of things to decide on, to reflect on, and to try to get some perspective on. And it's really important to do that, because you can get quite caught in an active day-to-day. Decompression is important. I don't find it very easy. I'm not very good at switching off, but I do, and this is in the loosest sense of the word, run quite a lot. So that's probably my main thing for me. That's not, running around after family and what have you is one thing. But for me, going out for a run, and in particular, park run. I do park run every Saturday, wherever I am in the world.
How many have you got now?
I've done 240, which is not actually that many in the scheme of things.
Park
at 80 different locations, though.
Oh, that is good.
Which drives my husband.
When's your next? Because you get sort of medals, but you get like a little clap, don't you? Or wristbands or something.
Get a little clap and a T-shirt at 250.
When you say a little clap,
I mean a big clap,
from
but I mean
everybody
as in the people doing the park run, they do an announcement.
and they give you, as in you get
a little T-shirt with the number on the back,
and then everyone will be like, well done, Catherine, you're doing number 200. I had no idea.
And I only know that because I've never done a park run.
9 o'clock Saturday morning, you know the drill. Run 5k. As I say, running in the loosest sense of the word. Go and have a coffee, one of these. I mean, that's a happy start to a Saturday.
And we've had other guests on Dream Machine talk about running as part of their it's not quite investment process, but part of the process to come to. Do you make decisions? Do you think when you're
definitely.
running?
Oh, it's such an opportunity to clear my head, to work things through. But it's very, very useful because it forces you to focus on not much else other than just moving along. And
should we take snack number 3? So this is your chocolate bar or crisp.
Oh yeah.
I mean, or
is this, you're looking at this like, sweets. What's that?
Well, no.
It wasn't exactly as you expected.
Well, the one that I like is this looks delicious. Thank you very much. The one that we have has got chocolate around it.
Okay, so it's ideally chocolate dipped.
Ideally chocolate dipped, which is, I mean, it's an absolute toothbreaker, but it's...
Shall I open one?
How do you get into it? I
think a rip, as you say.
Oh, my. Oh, this stuff. Oh, I've made a mess of that.
So normally, and would it be dark chocolate or milk chocolate?
Not fussy on the chocolate, just chocolate around the outside.
This is going to be noisy, right?
Yeah, it's properly crunchy. Let me give this.
Shall I go first so I can then talk?
Yeah, you talk. And this is how would you? Is this a regular thing, or is this just a real treat that you would have on occasion?
So we buy this stuff by the sackload in the Lake District when we go to, walk up mountains and things. And there's a little place in Keswick that does these amazing chocolate-covered Cinder toffee, and it's just so delicious. And it's the thing you've got in your backpack when you get to the top of Blencathra or something, and have that with a cup of tea. I mean, you cannot beat that. That is very special.
It's very nice.
I'm going to try it.
It's very hard.
Oh my God.
Well, that is crunchy.
It's crunchy, isn't it?
Delicious.
Really nice.
Oh,
so sweet.
So good.
The honeycomb.
It's just pure sugar.
It is just pure sugar. Is it just pure sugar? Bicarb, yeah.
That is interesting.
Quite a lot of technique involved in it.
We have a ex-professional sweet baker.
I know.
Oh yeah.
Did you make? You made this?
I have made honeycomb.
Successfully.
Yeah. You just make caramel, and then you just add bicarb,
it just goes.
and it goes.
Is it just sugar and water?
Yes. Broadly.
Right?
Yeah, for this.
And bicarb.
And then bicarb at the end.
And that gives it the.
And that just puffs up like. And
it's
quite scary
amazing
when it does that, but it hardens.
That's like a deconstructed crunchy, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
like a naked.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
this is very nice. Yeah,
really,
I'd
apart
never
from
be
the-
brave enough to make it. Good on you for doing that. I think I'd burn down my kitchen. But
Yeah, it's not. I made it once for the experience. It's not a regular occurrence anymore. So, thinking about kind of where we are and private credit, the focus on it, but sort of private markets more generally. So, how do you think about how the industry might evolve in that space? Are you thinking about?
It's such an interesting question, and obviously at the moment it's a question on lots of people's minds, whether that's sort of asset managers or investors or regulators or anybody else. There's a lot of sort of discussion around where it might go for good and bad. From my perspective, what we're doing is serving a really important financing purpose. I think we've got an awful lot of experience that we can bring to bear in continuing that process of sort of broadening access, but we do it really thoughtfully, really carefully, and think about where it's where we can and should operate within that. It feels like a part of the financing landscape that's absolutely here to stay and has been around a while anyway, but there'll just be sort of greater visibility about it and greater participation. I mean, retail investors are structurally underallocated to private markets. The proportion of clients that have exposure is very, very low at the moment. It has a diversifying role to play, return enhancing role to play in any portfolio.
One of the things that occurs to me as we think about that exact trend and how we communicate that, as you say, in a really sensible and measured way, is that part of the attraction of a private asset relative to a public asset is about sort of turning down the noise, because a cynic could look and say, well, you value it less frequently, so your volatility is lower because of that. But I guess on the flip side, that the benefit of that structure and the reality of that means that you then don't suffer a lot of the noise that you might have with the public. And I'm not saying it's only one way. I'm just saying that it's a different.
It's so true.
It's different.
It's a different way of positioning and thinking about the investment. At heart, the investment is very similar in a lot of ways, but it's there's a role we have to play in ensuring the right level of transparency, the right level of integrity around valuations. That's a really, really crucial area. But you're right. I mean, noise is an interesting point more broadly. I think, as you said earlier, there's a lot of discussion around private credit in a very broad sense and a very unspecific sense at the moment. And I think what we have to ensure we're doing is bringing it back to what do we know, what do we mean, what do we consider to be within that sort of remit, and how can we ensure that we're continuing to operate in a way that is right for the market, right for our clients, and we're delivering what our clients are expecting us to do, and seeing through some of the noise and the misinformation or the sort of slightly hyperbolic, journalistic, coverage. We've just got to try to, take it back to first principles, remember what we're seeking to do, have a line of sight to the bigger picture always, but keep focused on, what we're trying to do for our clients.
I think that all that remains for us to do, Catherine, is to replay your dream machine.
Okay.
So we have a flat white.
Yes.
Ideally in your own favourite cup,
Yes,
a
with
thin
a
lip
saucer.
cup with a saucer. Just a standard flat white as it comes,
Yeah.
but ideally made by someone else.
Yeah.
That's great. Then we have the salt and shake, which takes you back to that lunchbox,
Yes.
whether it was Barbie or something else.
Yeah.
The delight of finding the salt and shake alongside your apple and your brown
Yeah.
roll, and enjoying and embracing the uneven distribution of salt within the crisps. And then to finish, cinder toffee, but chocolate dipped cinder
Ideally,
toffee.
but this is delicious.
From the Lake District,
Yes.
that you can enjoy having gone on a walk and reached your destination, and that sweet treat overall.
That's
So
spot
I
on.
think it was a great dream machine.
No, love
Yeah,
it.
perfect.
And
Loved
thank
it.
you very much.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you.